Okay, so this is going to be the second video on a countdown starter, and the numbers that I'm going to give you this time are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 like I did previously, but this time the target number is 22. Okay, so I want to show you or talk through some methods that you can use to find or to reach the target number. One method that you can use is to try and multiply two numbers together and get close to your target number, and then add or subtract whatever you need to do. So for example, if you're trying to make 22, you could do 4 times 5, which is 20, and then you're trying to make 2, and you've got the numbers 1, 2 and 3 left. To try and make the target number 2. So, I mean, the easiest thing is you've already got a 2 right there. Okay, so you could just add that. So you could do 20 plus the 2 that you've got, and that makes 22. Another way of making 2 with the numbers 1, 2 and 3. So say you've started in the same way, you've done 4 times 5, which is 20, and you've got the numbers 1, 2 and 3, and you're trying to make the target number 2, is you could do 3 minus 1, and that'll give you a different 2. So I'm going to put an asterisk by it, and then you can do the 20 that you have plus the 2 that you just made, and that will give you 22. So if you want to get really fancy, then let's see what other. So remember, you've got the numbers 1, 2 and 3, and you're trying to make 2 because you've already used your 4 and you've multiplied it by the 5 to make 20. Okay, so one way that we talked about making 2 is just using the 2 that you have. A second way that we did it is we did 3 minus 1, which gave you 2. Another thing that you could have done is you could have done 3 plus 1 and then minus 2. Fourth way you could have done it is you could have done 3 plus 1 divided by 2. So those are 4 different ways of getting 2 with the numbers 1, 2 and 3, which you then use to add to the 20 that you've already got. Okay, so going back to the problem, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the target number being 22. That strategy I talked about was multiplying two numbers together, getting close to 22, and then adding or subtracting numbers to get to 22. So can you think of a way of multiplying two numbers together that's going to give you more than 22? So hopefully you've looked and you're like, well, the two highest numbers that I have are 4 and 5, and if I multiply them together, I get a number that's 20, so it's below 22. So what you could do is you could add a number to one of these before you multiply it. So for example, you could do 4 plus 1 to make 5, and then you could multiply that by 5, and that will give you 25. Or you could add 1 to the 5 before you multiply it by the 4, and that will give you 4 times 6, which is 24. So both these numbers are larger than 22, and then you can use the numbers that you have left, which are 2 and 3, to try and make 22.